Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Alright, I've got a bunch of small agate nodules that have all been cut. Some have been kind of polished that I've bought over the years from different vendors at different gem and mineral shows. Today I'm gonna put a real polish on these. I'm gonna take them back out to the polishing machine and just kind of clean them up, and some of them put the actual polish on it, like this one for example. It's got some nice color, but it's just been sitting in a tub. I wasn't sure what I was going to do with it, but I think I'll just face polish this one. So let's walk through these real quick. So for example, this guy's got a nice quartz pocket in it. Nice color around that. Does have a odd void over here. It does have some crystals in it. Kind of a dark black color. Not sure what that is. Could be a calcite inclusion. This one again was labeled as a Mexican agate. It's got an odd skin on it, very unique looking. Got another one actually from that same location, wherever this one came from. Now it's got an okay polish, but it's got scratches on it and it's not the best polish, so I'm going to clean it up, put a high gloss finish on that. Same with this one. Got this from the same vendor. Decent polish, but not the best. And it's got a few little scratches. So we'll get them cleaned up and repolished. Alright. Now this one's absolutely gorgeous, and thought about cutting some slabs to make tiny cabochons from. But I might just, for now, redo this polish, put a high gloss polish on it. It's kind of polished, but it's real dull looking, and it's got some light scratches. Could always change my mind later and cut that off as a specimen, and then maybe do a slab underneath and then make another specimen. But for now, we'll repolish it. We'll make it look nice. Okay, so this stone here, I cut this and polished this like when I first started in this Lapidary world, if you will. So yeah, definitely not my best polish, and it's been kicked around in a box of rocks forever, so it's kind of got a few little scratches in it. So I'll clean that up and get a better polish on it. This one's got a really hazy polish, not a great finish, and it's got some flat spots on the top that you can see. So I'll clean that up as well. I think this is one that I cut. I couldn't find the other half to it, so maybe I didn't, maybe I bought it, but if I did, it doesn't have a price on it. But this one's got a really nice druzy pocket, geo-druzy pocket on the inside. Probably would have been a little nicer if it was cut back a little deeper, but I'll put a dome polish on this one as well, make it look good. Okay. Alright, gorgeous stone, but it does have a lot of scratches in this one. So I will fix this and I will get a good polish on it. That is a beautiful stone. You've got a lot of shadow banding in it, and I think that'll pop a little better once it gets polished. It's got a mark right here. I can't tell if that is a fracture or it's just got something rubbed up against it like a pencil or another rock. I guess we'll find out once I polish it. Okay, this was one that I cut. I don't have the other half. Couldn't find it anyways. Doesn't mean it's not in a different tub, but for now, I think I'll just do a polish on this one. I think this is going to be solid agate all the way through. I don't think that middle is quartz or calcite or anything. I think it's agate. We'll find out when it gets polished. It'll look really good. All right, this one kind of has some peach colors in it. Again, it's got kind of a hazy finish, not a good polish. It's got a few little scratches. So I'll get those cleaned up, and a new eyeglass polish on that. And this one had a really flat, low dome, but not a good polish, kind of hazy, and definitely a few little scratches here and there. We'll get the scratches out and get this thing repolished. I'll probably keep that low dome though. It works for me. Love that pattern and color in this one. And last but not least, again, this is one that I cut a long time ago when I was first learning how to do this. I kind of put a polish on it, but it's got a streaky finish. I can kind of see some lines in it. And it's got a few little chips from it being dumped in a tub of other rocks. So I'll repolish this one and get a better finish on it this time. All right, let me get these stones off to the polishing machine and we'll see what we can do with them. All right, I'll be right back. All right, everybody, back from the polisher, and I did a little more than I thought I was going to do. Scoot this camera back a bit. So basically, I got the Mexican banded agates out to the polishing machine, started polishing them, and I had the 4 Swazi agate sitting there that I'd started polishing from another video but didn't get a good polish on, and a handful of small Arizona agate nodules, same issue. I started polishing them but didn't get a good polish on them. So while I was doing the Mexican banded agates, I went ahead and polished up the rest of the Swazis and the banded agates. So I'm gonna walk through all of these and we'll see how all these came out. So let's start with, actually, did a little more than that. Saw a couple of small pieces of Botswana broken-faced nodules sitting in the shop, and I just kind of picked them up and polished those as well. You know, I just recently put new wheels on the polishing machines and still kind of breaking them in, so went ahead and, you know, did more than I was gonna do. So let's walk through these. First one's a little tiny Botswana agate nodule. Went ahead and put a face polish on this just to see what this would look like. Came out pretty nice. Again, a little tiny stone, but good pattern. Got a good polish and a dome on it. And then I also did this Botswana agate. This one was broken and had almost a right angle in it on the face, so I just kind of did a weird face on like 3 sides of it. Kind of wrapped it around. But that came out really cool looking. At least I think it did. I think it's an interesting specimen though, for sure. It's this is what the rest of it looked like. All right, let's walk through some of the Arizona small agate nodules. These are mostly just flat polished. They're very small nodules, but these all had really cool patterns on them. Start with this one. If you look at the banding in the middle, it's got really good shadow banding. It's got a little bit of a quartz pocket and then a nice clear chalcedony banded agate around the white. It's pretty cool looking. Took a good polish too for a flat polish. Although it is easier to get a flat polish on these smaller stones. But both sides look about the same and are really nice. Very cool. Yeah, this one was another Arizona banded agate, and it was a geode, and you can kind of see a hole on one end of this one. But again, it came out really nice. This one had some cool patterns in it, along with the banded agate. You got some tubes and some orbicular structures. Definitely cool looking. All right. Next up, got this little guy here, another Arizona banded agate. And again, another flat polish. But this one was cool because it had different kinds of banding. You had the white clear banding on the outside, then you had that gray with the white orbicular structures or snowflakes, whatever you want to call them, platelets. Just inside that, and then inside of that you had this kind of a dark gray blue looking banded agate. In the center you got some of those platelets again. Pretty cool looking. And just in the bottom right of that section, it's got some water level banded agate as well. So a little bit of everything. It's really neat. Okay, and then the last little Arizona one. Really nice banding in it. It's got the shadow banding effect, parallax banding effect. It does have a healed fracture in it, but it's 100% healed. It's completely re-agatized. So it's just kind of a change in color more than it is a fracture. But yeah, this is a really cool looking agate. Love the colors in this one. All right. Okay, so those were those. Let's see if I can pick out the Swazi agates. I'm going to start with this one, which was more of a freeform cabochon. It's got a semi-polished back on it. Didn't get a real good polish, but usually these are set in a silver bezel. Top got a great polish, great dome, and a good bevel all the way around it. But yeah, that'll make a really cool cabochon, and it's translucent as well. It does have a little bit of dust sticking to it. But it's got really good color with that red center and then the purple on the outside. So very nice. I really did like that one. All right, here's another one of the Swazi agates. So this was a nice pattern and color. It did have some fractures in it, but to me, I think it was still worth it to polish this one because it's just drop dead gorgeous. It's got this kind of a purplish color with floaters in it down here. And this is kind of a water level banding. And then it's got the fortification up above it with the purple banding on the outside and red on the inside with a white fortification line in there as well. But it took a super great polish. I don't think that fracture took from this one too much. It's just a cool looking stone. And it's a good size. All right, and a couple others. Let's see, this one, another one that I went ahead and polished it even though it had a fracture. Just love the banding and the colors in this one. Purple, red. It's got that eye down here. It's got that indentation from that growth from the inside or from the side. But love the banding in this one. It's a really pretty stone. You can tell in the center there, it was just the end of the edge of a quartz pocket. But it came out really nice. All right, and I had one more Swazi. This was the best of the bunch, I think. So, dust off of it. This one had the purples and the reds and the pinks. And then it had these white tubes in it. It was just super cool. It was a really big agate. And it also had a little bit of water line right around that bottom edge here. And you could see it here. Pretty big stone. But went ahead and just did this gorgeous face polish on it. No fractures in this one. This one came out perfect. That is a really big, nice specimen of the Swazi with the banding and the tubes. Wow. All right. Okay. So now let's go through the Mexican banded agates. Let's start with this one. So this one wasn't polished before, but it had a nice druzy pocket in it. Got that cleaned out as well. But took a nice polish. Just on the outside edge where you have that host rock, it's a little rough, pitted, but all the agate took a great polish. And I think it kind of looks cool sitting in the host rock still. That's really neat. No fractures in this one either. Perfect. Okay. Alright, so this one had a polish on it. Was kind of domed. I just cleaned it up and put a better polish on it. It was kind of hazy before and had some flat spots. But this one's got a great pattern. I love the peach colors. Pink and peach. Then the bands on the inside, the kind of a peach color with all those little black dots in it. It's super cool looking. Perfect pattern, no fractures. It's just a really nice stone. Alright, we'll look at this guy next. I considered cutting a slab or two off of this one first for doing cabochons. but I didn't. I went ahead and we're going to keep this as a specimen. If it doesn't sell, then I might cut that top off and cut a slab out of it and make a cabochon. But this one's got beautiful color. Pinks and reds. Again, it's got those little speckles in the bands. Super cool looking. And it took a wonderful polish compared to what was on it before. Very nice. Can't complain about these. These came out really good. So again, this one had a polish, just wasn't real good. I just cleaned it up and then I gave it a gloss finish. A little bit of a druzy pocket there. Interesting colors though. Again, great finish. Nice dome. Great pattern. All right. So this one, not sure if I cut it or bought it already cut, but it wasn't polished. I went ahead and put a domed top on it and polished it. And it came out super nice. I wasn't sure if the middle was just going to be kind of a calcite crystal or what, but it was agate. Look at the pattern in this. That is really cool looking. Just have a tiny little void in the middle, like the edge of a geode pocket. All right, next up we got this one. So this one had a low dome on it, but just looked kind of hazy. Wasn't really polished well. Got a super nice polish on this one. Kept that low dome. Perfect pattern, not a single fracture in this. I love the center. It's got the two different patterns going on in it. 3 if you count this little fill point, it's different too. It's got some weird orbicular formations in the banding as well. And a tiny little druzy pocket in the center of this one, but no void. Took a great polish. Yeah, these all came out really nice. Okay, so this one again had a bad polish on it. Had a mark on it. I wasn't sure if it was a fracture or just some kind of like a pencil mark or a mark from scratching up against something. And it must have just been that, because not a single fracture in this. Look at the depth in the banding on this one. It's kind of got a lavender pinkish hue to it. Really cool looking, great colors, great bands. A little druzy pocket right there. Then you get the orbicular structure growing on the inside on that outside band of that last one of the different color before this kind of a translucent stuff on the outside. Really neat looking. You can see into this stone like that. Oh, and then you got the shadow banding too. Very nice stone. Okay, so this one I know I cut this one a long time ago and didn't have a great polish on it, and I just repolished it. It is a fractured stone right here, so it's missing a little bit of the pattern on that edge. but I got all that red banding in the center. So it's kind of a red and pink or purplish color. Maybe it's lavender. And it's got this other stuff on the outside, like a saginite or something. Kind of a peach color. Even that took a pretty good polish. Yeah, super cool looking though. Okay. Now I'm not sure if I cut this or if I bought it already cut. I thought I had both halves of this one. I only found the one half. It had a real streaky polish on it. It's kind of a flat top on this one. It's not much of a dome at all. A little bit of a dome, but not much. But look at the pattern and the colors in this one. A little bit of the parallax or shadow banding going on. Beautiful colors. Very nice stone. Okay, let's go and look at these bigger ones here. Again, I just wanted to clean up that polish that was on this. It's got a quartz center on it. But the banding is so deep, you can look way into this stone. It looks like ribbons. You can see like back behind them. That's really cool. This is a fairly large stone as well. Cool looking. I've never really seen one with skin on it like this. Not exactly where in Mexico this one's from, but it's beautiful. All right. This one is very similar to the last one. Definitely came from the same place. It's got the same kind of skin on it. And this one's just a little bit prettier than the last one. Again, you can see really deep into this. It's got the parallax or shadow banding going. It's like a little ribbons of banding folded over. Took a great polish compared to what was on there before. That'll make a really nice specimen. All right, well, last up, this one was my favorite. Get the dust off of it. So I don't know what the inclusions were. Part of it took a polish, and the rest of it kind of eroded out. It was real soft. And you can tell here, that part took a polish. It's kind of a saginite spray. You can see just the top of the black needles. And again, you got that shadow banding and all that depth in the bands in the stone. And it's got kind of a pinkish hue to it and white banding. And in the center, you got that yellow banding. That's really cool around a really neat druzy quartz pocket, which almost seems like it's got a yellow tint to the crystals. Like maybe they're a citrine or something. Which would have meant that was amethyst at one point, and it sat in the sun. It could just be the color, the yellow color on the bands shining through the quartz crystals as well. That's probably the case. But it is a beautiful stone. Took a really nice polish. And this one wasn't polished before, so I put a dome on it and polished it. All right, that is the last one out of all these stones that I've polished. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If anybody's interested in any of these stones, I'll include a link to the specimens that I polish in my Etsy shop down in the description of the video. Yeah, go take a look. Visit the Etsy site, and I got lots of stuff to look at in there. All right, well, I'm gonna leave it at that and thank everybody for watching, and we'll see you on the next video. All right, have a good one. Bye.